Good morning, yarny friends, and welcome to G Crochet Off the Hook. Today is Thursday, March the 20th. I hope you've all been taking care of yourselves and had some time for some crafty projects. Today I'm sharing my third batch of beanies. The beanies that I'm crocheting are earmarked for donation. They are going to various local charities that collect beanies for those in need during the winter months. And there's nothing better than being able to join a CAL, a crochet along, with fellow yarny friends all around the world making projects for their communities. And I have joined Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming with her hashtag BodHatapalooza, and Litza from Coco's Crochet. And I'll be sharing the next 6 beanies off my hook, and we'll start with the first 3. They are all Bag O Day crochet patterns, and these were drawn with the crochet along at Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. The first is this beautiful beanie called the Rock Bottom Beanie. Now I used a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook and a yarn that I did need to double. It was a very, very lightweight DK yarn, so I did need to use my doubling of the strands. It is 97% acrylic and 3% polyester. And I thought this will make somebody very joyful and keep their head warm during the winter months. That's the Rock Bottom Beanie from Bag O Day. The next beanie from Bag O Day, and I do believe the heading for this one was just Crochet Beanie Hat. And it's this beautiful one. I used a Kismet's Lollipop DK with a 6 millimeter hook. It's 100% acrylic. And yes, once again, I did double my strands. This was the yarn that I used. I know that they've recently changed this particular brand of yarn to a different name, but I am using a lot of my yarn stash to make these beanies so that I can make room for, of course, some more yummy yarn. So this one I used the colors Peony and Light Pink and a 6 millimeter crochet hook. I think this was part of one of Crystal from Bag O Day's anti-bullying hats that she made. I believe she did hers in blue, and I had these lovely pinks, and I think that's going to be a lovely beanie for somebody. And the third beanie was not such a great success for me. And I think Laura did say if it's not the beanie that the name represents, it's called a bucket hat. I think mine did come out like a bucket hat. But this is Crystal from Bag O Day's Roaring 20s Crochet Flapper Hat. And it is meant to have that 20s style where the one side would be up, and you could attach some accessory like a brooch or a lovely big button. There was wonderful inspiration in the slideshow that Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming shows of everybody's makes. Unfortunately, I think I didn't use a yarn that had enough drape in the hat. I used Kismet 67 Blankets DK in 2 colorways. I love the colorways. I've made my daughter a jumper in this. It was rustic and chestnut. And again, I had to use, I had to use 2 strands together to be able to use the hook size so that I could get a good adult size beanie. So I think it still makes a beautiful beanie, but unfortunately I wasn't successful in achieving the Roaring 20s flapper hat style. And that's my 3 makes of Bag O' Day beanies that we had from the hashtag BotHatapalooza draws. So that grows my stash. And then we'll move on to the beanies that Litza from Coco's Crochet chose for us. And 2 of the hats in this collection are also Crystal from Bag O' Day's crochet patterns. She really is a treat to watch, to learn new stitches as you tackle her crochet pattern tutorials. And the first beanie that we did has such a wonderful name. It's called the No Rhyme or Reason Crochet Beanie. And this is an example of watching Bag O' Day's tutorial and really learning some fun new stitches. And for me on this beanie was this beautiful stitch called a triangle stitch on this row over here. It's a lovely textured hat, and for this one I also used 67 Blankets DK, but I did not double the strands, and the hook that I used for this one was a 6mm hook. So even though the DK was sort of lightweight, I think this would make a good teen size beanie, and it's not too heavy or thick. So that's the No Rhyme or Reason Crochet Beanie by Bag O' Day. The second beanie that we crocheted was, wow, I had to choose yellow. It's by the Turtle Trunk, and it's called the Country Cottage Beanie. And this is another fun, even though it is front post double crochets, it's rather a quick make. The difference that I did with this particular beanie was the brim. I think you're supposed to single crochet, and the weather hasn't been playing along, so I did not. I did the front post, back post, brim, and it starts with your single crochets at the top, and then this beautiful textured stitch around. And for this one, yes, again, I had to double my strands to use a 6mm hook. I used this beautiful yellow from Snowball Elite Yarns. It's a poolskin DK, but to get this lovely thick texture and create a warm beanie, I used the 2 strands together. And the final beanie of this batch was another Bag O' Day beanie, and this one was called the Quicksilver Beanie, and isn't that gorgeous? Now for this one I again used a 6mm hook, and no, I didn't have to double the strand. The yarn that I had on hand was absolutely gorgeous for it. It was another Novo yarn, 97% acrylic, 3% polyester, and it was a beautiful Aran weight, I would say, yarn with my 6mm crochet hook. And we have this beautiful Quicksilver beanie by Bag O Day Crochet. And those were my 3 beanies over at Coco Crochet's channel. And that was the quick update on all the beanies that I have been crocheting. And peeps, yes, I have got many other projects on the hook at the moment, on the go. I do have my husband's winter cable pullover off the hook, and I will be chatting about that one in another episode. I do want to say thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. Yarny friends, I'm not keeping an eye on that. I'm just happy to be here to share my makes, to join in with everybody else who's crocheting out there in the world, share our inspiration and our love of handmade goodness. I know that on any of the platforms that you join, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, there's always these little reminders of you have this, you have that. Don't forget to post something today. Don't forget to share. I have enough everyday anxiety just getting out into the world that these are the sorts of things on social media I kind of ignore. And perhaps I also then forget to acknowledge. And I don't want that to come across as me not being engaged with whoever's joining me on my crochet journey. I really appreciate all of you popping in. I do love to read your comments. I'm challenged with that too. Oftentimes I have too much to say and I flood the airways with 1 or 2 emojis instead of words. But I do want you all to know that it's just precious moments in time to be able to share what it is that we love to do, which is crochet and make handmade crafts and use the yarny goodness around us. So on that note, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sharing some of your time with me, and I wish you all a beautiful, blessed weekend wherever you are. Happy crocheting.